Walking through essentially stable land, so there's loads of horses and stuff, and I have to say I really dislike walking through places like this because they're never marked. Footpath signs have basically disappeared, so you have to go by, thankfully I've got the OS map app, which is super helpful, so you have to go by that, and even then you kind of feel like you shouldn't be here. I really hate that. Like, it's a public path. Try and make it difficult for me to walk here, it would be annoying. The horses are nice though. I feel like being watched all the time in these places. Was a footpath all the way through horse fields, which is nice. Lots of horses following me. Managed to electrocute myself on one of the it looked like a bungee, but it went over the fence that the gate I had to open. God, that hurt. It was like someone punching me in the head. And then I get into the farm bit, which is still a public footpath, and 2 dogs come for me. So that was fun as well. But obviously I've got a dog, so it was fine. And then the owner came out and called them away and was quite friendly, so that's always helpful. But yeah, hardly any footpath signs all the way through that until I got to this bit of path, and there was finally a sign. There's a cat in the way. Not sure. Not sure why that's there, but footpath sign, so that's always a plus. Drink stop with alpacas. So I randomly stumbled across this Middle Littleton. We're in Middle Littleton, and this is the tithe barn. It's owned by the National Trust. It's 13th century, and it's apparently the largest and one of the finest examples of tithe barns in the whole country, just hidden away in this little random village. More horses, but at least this time it's fairly well marked, and the boundary is pretty obvious. just one long stretch now to the end, but I'm going to take a little detour because I want to check out a potential bivvy spot on the River Avon. So that's my little detour, otherwise we'll be going straight back into Bidford. Finally see the River Avon. Absolutely disgusting. That, no, like, I'm lost for words. This is why we can't have nice things. Honestly. It's absolutely disgusting. Humans are disgusting. Okay. So you don't see that every day. Just off a footpath. I'm not gonna get too close, but Jesus Christ. I suspect that might have been stolen and crashed on purpose. So I'm going to take a little bit of a detour. I meant to go that way, but I want to recce a potential bivvy spot. I'm hoping that there's a little bit of cover, because obviously the trees haven't got the leaves, so fingers crossed. So we're going to go this way, down the steps. So far, it's not looking good. There's a lot of brambles and right next to the path, and there's like no cover. It's just all bare trees. Me. Me. I'll keep looking. Footpaths at the top behind, you can just see the fence. This is the best spot I've found. That's where the River Arrow meets River Avon. The River Arrow is the river that flows through Studley, which is a video I made year before last. Might be a spot around here. Maybe if I risk it and get up at super early o'clock. I think I found a spot. Sneaky, stealthy. But it's like quite close to the path, but kind of up on a ledge, so might be alright. I think it'll be fine. Going back into civilization now. Glad I went this way. It's way nicer than the way the book wanted me to go. Also, I think I've actually found the spot. So, the spot that I said I'd found, I found a much better spot. I think that's the one. It's nice and tucked away, it's next to the river. So I found a spot. I don't know if you can hear me, but quite a few people walk past. I've set up camp, but I've got to be really quiet because I think a lot of people walk here from Bidford to Marlcliff from on this path, which is like home sheltered, but it's not far from where I was sleeping. I think I'll be okay. I've got an FRH to eat my meal, but we've had them a while, so I don't actually know if they'll be any good if it'll work. But I'm okay to eat mine cold if necessary. Who knows? Might give it a little shake. I've eaten now. The FRH kind of worked. It was cold and hot at the same time. So things you get in, what are they called? Oh, whatever the things you buy and go outdoors. Like the trekking meal things. They taste terrible when they're cold. But anyway, I think I'm going to try and bed down for the night, even though it's still not that late, because there's not much else to do. So I'll say good night. Wish me luck. I'm all packed up now. It's about 6 o'clock. So I'm going to head back to my car and hopefully catch some sort of sunrise or not. I can see stars, so maybe I'll get lucky. Looks like I'm in lucky with the weather. Sunrise is about 7 o'clock. So I've probably got about an hour to wait. But I'm going to go wait in my car and eat something. So I'm back in Bidford now. I did send the drone up this morning, but the as soon as the sun started to come up, a massive load of cloud came over, so it wasn't really. It's all right, but it wasn't great. Like, I didn't get a sunrise essentially. I wanted to get it all hitting off the water, but another day maybe. So I came to Bidford and took some shots. But yeah, that's my bivvy camp done. The walk I did yesterday was from the OS Circular Walks for the Malverns in Warwickshire. Starting in Bidford and then walking up to Marlcliff and then Cleeve Prior and then to Little Middleton, I think it is. Middle Littleton. I can't remember, but there was a tithe barn there. Unfortunately, it was shut because it's the wrong time of year. But you could still have a look around. It was interesting. So maybe I'll go back when it's open. And then I circled back, going along Cleeve Hill, which is where I saw that rubbish, and the random car, which is nowhere near a road. There's no roads around there at all. It's just fields and a footpath. And then I diverted away from the book and walked along the River Avon to try and scout a spot, which took ages. Finally found a good spot, but I had to stealth it because there were so many people walking past. I guess people who work in Bidford maybe live in Marlcliff and walk that way, I don't know, but yeah, I had to set up in the dark and then had to be really, really quiet, and then I got up at 5:30 and I was packed and gone by 6, which was about right. I had time to sit in the car and chill, and then there was a guy who turned up about 7:30 to go fishing down the weir, which is further down the river. Yeah, I had a good time. Stealth camping is always fun. I do feel like I have to sleep with one eye open. I did listen to a lot of like various wildlife. Last night I heard a fox and pheasants and ducks. So many ducks. At one point I was sharing the tree I was near with a bird. Random bird. I couldn't see what it was. It was dark. But, just a black outline of a bird. Wasn't sure if it was sleeping or looking at me or what, but he buggered off about half an hour later. So I get to go home now and sleep in my warm bed and eat my hot meals that I've prepared and live in a nice-ish house. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky as I am, and this camp wasn't just about me. It was about raising awareness for the homelessness problem that we have in the UK. Shelter released a statement in January, and in it said that as of January, 271,000 people are classed as homeless. That includes 123,000 children, which is terrible. At any given moment, they reckon there's 2,400 people on the streets, but I mean the number is probably a lot more than that because that's just who they can count on one night. You know, the whole most homeless people don't want to be seen, so that the numbers are probably not even close to what they actually are. And then there's all the people who are actually sofa surfing and staying in people, they're like their friends' spare rooms and stuff. They're never counted either. So so this camp was to raise awareness in line with International Bivvy Bag Day 2023, and there will be a Just Giving link in the description below, so give generously. I already gave my donation yesterday, so so I've done my bit. And it's also to raise awareness for the right to roam. I don't know if you've seen recently, but a very rich man, ex-hedge fund manager, aren't they always, decided to take the Dartmoor camping situation. He decided to take it to court and challenge it, and of course he won, because money buys you everything these days, and has essentially taken away the right for us to camp legally on what is his land, but that also affects other places that are legal. It's always been a bit grey around in the legality. I mean, it essentially says we can, but he's challenged the wording, so we might end up losing it everywhere. Not that there's that many places you can camp in England anyway. Most of them are in Scotland, and so this is also to raise awareness of that, which is also, again, in line with the International Bivvy Bag Day, and also Right to Roam and The Stars Are Ours. Lots of people were doing the same thing. That's why the thumbnail for this video will be me holding a code word, which was Save Dartmoor. That's to do with that. There's a Facebook page, which I'll link to in the description below. Yeah. And that's it, guys. Till next time. I'm going to go home and have a nice hot drink and some breakfast.